welcome back to Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily here to tell you about comics, cartoons, other awesome nerd. So, what are we talking about today? Well, it's another episode review. If you watched the one for SSSS Gridman, you know that you're here for Zombieland Saga, Episode 9, and we're super jazzed, super pumped always for Zombieland Saga. It's moving up in the ranks, second favorite show of the season, right behind that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And if you thought that title was long, you haven't even seen anything on this week's episode. This video will be entitled Zombieland Saga Episode 9, the one with the long title, because it is literally the longest title of any anime episode I have ever personally seen. It's actually the longest title to anything anime related I've ever seen. I've never seen full paragraphs as titles. The longest title for anything anime, manga related that I personally have seen is if it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord, and that's pushing it, I think, as far as longest title for an anime thing. But as far as longest title for an episode, Zombieland Saga Episode 9 has it covered. It is the episode called, and I wrote it down, Though my life may have ended once by some twist of fate, I have risen. And if song and dance are to be my fate, then carrying the memories of my comrades in my heart, as I sally forth, shall be my saga. Like, that is incredible. It's amazing. It's a Saki episode, which is the best. Saki's my favorite girl. I love her so much. She just has like a mean attitude, and she really loves and cares for her companions, and that's the best thing. That is obviously the best thing. She's still a delinquent. She's not sure about all this idol stuff, but she's doing it because she wants her fellow zombies to thrive, and so I'm all about Saki. We love Saki in this house. This is a house of Saki. Moving on, so the episode, of course, if you haven't watched it yet, and you should have, but if you haven't, go do yourself a favor, go watch the episode. Watch the episode, come back, because we're going to have spoilers for days discussing the episode. Here now, as mentioned, it is the episode review, so of course. Do I look tired? I feel tired, but I'm full of energy and ready to go. So the episode opens up with Saki alive in the 90s, sitting with her best friend in the world, just looking at a sunrise and showing off her Tamagotchi. Like, she's the best. They're talking about, what their plans are. Some biker gang was super, resilient, but of course they would be. So what's the next plan? Taking over all of Tokyo. And which is a great plan. And then, after making such a bold statement, showing off the Tamagotchi is like showing off the perfect duality of Saki and her personality in general. The two girls walk away from the scene, revealing just bodies lied out of their fallen foes. And so, that's amazing, and I love it. I love strong girl. I just like girl gangs, great. Strong girl gangs, better. Yeah. And then we move on to the present, where the girls have been told by their manager that, sure, the young crowd loves them, but Saga's made up of mostly old people, and so they need to be popular with the old people. To which Junko asks, has any idol group ever been popular with old people? And I was like, not to my knowledge. But they're going to do it anyway. They're there to learn a dance, a festive dance for the region. I forget its name, because it was like such a fast just plot point that we fucking breezed by it. It is there for all of 30 seconds, and it's fun. It's a fun 30 seconds, because the old people are just being old, and then that music comes on, and then they're up and dancing, and they're like, can you keep up? And it's it's great. I love it. It's perfect. cut to the end. Tei Yamada, the legendary Tei Yamada, and Lily are getting a drink at a fountain. Sakura comes to grab them because it's time to go. And, yeah, as they're doing that, some biker girls show up, so it's 3 biker girls, and try their best to menace Sakura and Lily. Lily mentions that she's an eternal grade schooler, and so they, like, turn away from Lily because it feels kind of gross bullying a grade schooler. So they're trying to menace Sakura, and as they're doing it, Tei decides that the leader's hair looks particularly tasty, and Tei attacks and bites on, and it's really great. Sakura, of course, pulls Tei off her and apologizes, like, Sakura's super sweet, and they're threatening to, like, you know, beat up, like, you know, get violent, and then Saki shows up and like, hey, what are y'all doing? You know, let's get in the van, I'm gonna kick your ass and you're lollygagging, because it's Saki, and the biker girls, or the scooter gang, are like, this doesn't concern you, and Saki gives that, like, classic, like, huh, like, look, and they're like, they just back off immediately, like, it's like they're playing at being, you know, a biker gang, and once real deal Saki shows up on the scene, there's no comparison. Saki gets a look at the jacket of the leader and realizes that it's the jacket of her old gang, and it really, like, affects her, because she starts thinking about, you know, what happened, I wonder, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And so, Kotaro is driving them home, and there's a fight between Lily and Tei, because Tei ate Lily's squid. And as they're driving along, they notice that, or Saki notices, that the 3 girls from earlier have now been surrounded by a bigger gang with actual motorcycles. Like, we get a little scene of these 3 girls before, and one of the girls is like, we should just quit this, you know, there's only 3 of us. This stuff was kind of fun before, but, you know, we're not good at this. And didn't your mom, like, quit, like, this lifestyle? So, and anyway, the rival gang shows up. Of course, they have a bunch of more members. But Saki notices this, leaps from the van, which is just, like, great. Of course it's great. She, like, tries to talk to him, but her head is all upside down. She, like, snaps that back into place. She's, like, she just dusts it off. And, it's pretty good. They try to stop her from interfering, like the rival gang, who are not, it was not the boss. Like, hey, this doesn't concern you, and she cracks that classic thing from before, and they back off. It's the best, because Saki, nobody fucks with Saki, I guess. And Saki intervenes. Of course, the police officer shows up and gets totally intimidated by all the biker girls. And he's like, I'm gonna call for backup. You're gonna go to jail. And so they all disperse. It turns out that the young girl who is now the leader of Saki's old gang is the daughter to Saki's best friend in the whole world, who used to be the boss of the gang, and, you know, gave up that lifestyle because what she wanted was a normal life. Something that Saki actually says, I don't understand what that means. Like, which is, like, the best response. Train. So, we get a scene of the girl whose name is Maria. She goes home. She gets issued a challenge at home. It's, like, in her mailbox. And she sneaks out at night to go take care of this challenge. We get a scene of the friend, Saki's friend, remembering Saki, and we find out how Saki died. Yes, you can hear the train, probably, I'm sorry. Saki died in a game of chicken, more or less. She crashed her motorcycle, and it blew up. It's very tragic. It really affected her friend, and it's probably one of the main reasons why she quit being a gal as soon as she did. Which, honestly, your best friend dies in front of you, your very face. Yeah, you quit. Of course you quit. Anyway, so Saki and Kotaro are having a discussion. Kotaro's like, you can't be a delinquent and an idol. Idols can't be violent, so if you do any violent shit, you're out. You're done, because you're gonna jeopardize being an idol. For the rest of the girls, it's not cool. It's like, you understand? She's like, yeah, I understand. Anyway, so Maria gets the challenge and runs off to go do it. Whatever. Right? So, her mom shows up and realizes that she's gone and reads the challenge note. It's taking place the same place that Saki died, and she busts out her motorcycle and is on the case. Saki decides that it's getting late. A challenge has already been issued, probably because she knows how these gang things work, being from a gang in the 90s. And she figures this is what's going to happen because, of course, these are two classic gangs of the Saga Prefecture. They have a history, so on and so forth. And she basically is walking out of the house, and Kotaro tries to start. He's like, I guess you didn't understand. She's like, no, I understand. And he's like, then what are you going to go do? She's like, idle stuff, obviously. Bye. So we cut to the scene where Maria and the other gang leader are, and they're explaining the rules of chicken. Of course, we're going to drive towards this cliff. First one to break loses. Boom, you're ready to do it? And, first, the mother shows up, and she's like, don't do this is dumb. She's got, like, a sweet-ass fucking bike, and she, like, cuts a hard, like, slide into everything. Like, she stops real good. And basically Maria's like, shut up, Mom. You used to be cool. You're not cool, and I'm never going to be like you, ever. You're not cool. I'm always going to be cool, more or less. You used to be strong, you're, like, weak now, etc. So she's getting ready, and then Saki shows up on an actual bicycle, pedaling, and skids, and hits everybody else's bikes. It's great. And she's wearing a sash that says, gang captain for a day, which somebody on Twitter pointed out that idols in Japan actually do things like this all the time. Not necessarily with gang leaders, but they'll be like firemen for a day or mayor for a day. They'll have a sash. So when Saki said she was going to go do idol shit, she literally meant idol stuff. Ergo, the sash. And she offers to basically do the challenge in place of Maria. And Maria's like, this doesn't concern you. Who says that you can, be a part of this? And Sagi's like, you know that there's a history here between our gang and their gang. Somebody died. You willing to die? And basically intimidates her out of it. Of course, her best friend notices that it's her, but Saki's like, I don't know any Sakis. Bye! And grabs her motorcycle, the mom's motorcycle, and basically chickens like crazy. The rival gang leader is like, she just sped up when she should be hitting her brakes. I'm hitting my brakes. I don't mind losing. And Saki goes full bore, off the cliff, on purpose, blows up the bike, I guess to prove the point that this was dumb and somebody could die. And the mother is like not pleased. She's like, oh no, somebody died in front of me again. And she looked just like Saki. And then Saki pulls herself up. She's like, oh, that hurt. And then her best friend punches her like, what? You idiot! What if it hadn't worked out? And that's kind of where the episode ends, at least in episode terms. We get to Saki makes a big speech. She makes a big speech like, don't be dumb, don't be idiots like this, This shit isn't legendary. Me being, like, surviving an explosion, that's not legendary. I want to create a new legend, just watch. And then we cut to idol stuff, which is so good. I don't know what the song's called, but Saki's lead singer for it, and it is fucking just, I want this song on repeat, high volume, speeding down the highway. It is, like, the best. It's a great song. Like, it's great. Talks about, a never-ending ride. It's amazing, and it's just pumping and upbeat. The gang girls are now Fran Xiaoxiu fans, which really makes the heavy metal guys happy. He's like, oh, cool, more weirdos. So it's really good. I loved this episode. I loved the energy of it. I love Murasaki's backstory. I mean, I'm all for more backstory for all the girls. And next week is probably Yaguri getting her backstory a little bit. So look forward to that. That'll be episode 10. And then after that, 2 more episodes. Maybe we'll find out more about Tay. Maybe Sakura gets her memory back. Who knows? Why was Sakura picked for this anyway? We don't know. So stay tuned, I guess, for more Zombieland Saga. If you're not watching it, you're doing yourself a disservice. But as always, I'm Fire Princess Silly, and until next time, enjoy comics, enjoy cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!